leaking liquid rain upon the street. The moon is leaking liquid rain upon the street. It turns the pavement silver beneath my tired feet. Oh, I'm standing where the ghost of living men always. Yes, I'm standing where the ghost of living men always. Hoping that the midnight train won't be running late. I've got a ticket made of silk and old regret. I've got a ticket made of silk and old regret. The kind of journey that a soul can't quite forget. The whistle sounds like mercury, a long and hollow cry. It cuts right through the velvet dark, across the London sky. Oh, I'm standing where the ghost of living men always. Yes, I'm standing where the ghost of living men always. Hoping that the midnight train won't be running late. The engine runs on every sigh and every prayer. The engine runs on every sigh, every prayer. I'll find my darling in the cool and misty air. The moon is leaking silver. The train is almost here. Almost here. The moon is hanging like a silver weight. Our shadows fall across the garden gate. They lie like heavy silk upon the stone. I will not leave you in the dark alone. We sow our shadows till the light is gone. We sow our shadows till the break of dawn. The needle slides through every velvet fold, a story written that will not be told. I take the thread of indigo and gray to keep the morning from its cruel display. The stitch is narrow and the stitch is deep, while all the world is falling fast asleep. We sow our shadows till the light is gone. We sow our shadows till the break of dawn. The needle slides through every velvet fold, a story written that will not be told. The friction of the silk begins the seam will hold against the winter and the biting cold. Two ghosts of silk are bound upon the floor. We shall be parted by the world no more. One single shade, one single shade, the needle rests. Cuts a winding path, the moss is soft against our skin. We leave behind the morning's wrath, taken in a silent bath. The dragonflies are hovering, the willow trees are dipping low. We feel the earth is recovering while the heavy wind is mothering. Let the water roll along. We have found a place to hide. This is where we both belong. Simple as a summer song. The clock is nowhere to be found. The sky is open like a book, resting on this hollow ground, listening to the rushing sound. The ancient roots are growing deep. You hold my hand within the grass, the promises we mean to keep while the heavy city sleeps. The heron lands upon the bank, the stones are polished by the tide. We have the cooling air to thank as the winter spirit sank. The world is such a loud machine, I do not need a heavy crown. But here the earth is mostly green, the truest thing I've ever seen. Ever seen. Let the water roll along. We have found a place to hide. This is where we both belong. Simple as a summer song. Simple as a summer song. The clock is nowhere to be found. The sky is open like a book, resting on this hollow ground, listening to the rushing sound. Stay right here. Just stay. Let it roll. I tend my glass garden in the morning light. The petals are cold and the stems are tight. I prune the blue roses of our last night. They hum with a memory that won't take flight. The greenhouse is quiet as a hollow stone. I'm watering crystals all on my own. The hum of the garden has a heavy tone. It sounds like a love that I've never known. Oh, the wind plays the glass like a silver flute. The heart of the gardener is bitter fruit. I'm digging for sharp thorn and it drew a bead. The salt in my veins is the only seed. It's a lonesome life and a hungry greed. To grow back a ghost is a heavy deed. Singing a song of the rain, a crystal clear echo, a sweet old pain. I'm locked in the glass with a heavy chain, watching the summer go down the drain. The wind plays the glass like a silver flute. The heart of the gardener is bitter fruit. I'm digging for gold at a frozen root. I'm wearing a shroud for a wedding suit. The humming goes on until the light is gone. Tell me now. I've got brass and silver scattered on my floor. I've got brass and silver scattered on my floor. I'm building something that the world ain't seen before. I'm filing down the teeth of every little wheel, of every little wheel, trying to capture exactly how your touch makes me feel. If I could find the pin to lock the escapement tight, if I could find the pin to lock the escapement tight, I'd keep us wrapped in this moment for the rest of my life. The mainspring is tight and my fingers are starting to bleed. The mainspring is tight and my fingers are starting to bleed. But your love is the only ticking pulse that I'll ever need. Ooh, hold the sun. Ooh, hold the sun. Forget the morning, let the pendulum swing slow. There's a secret in the movement that only we two know. I've stopped the gears and I've quieted the copper chime. I've stopped the gears and I've quieted the copper chime. Lord, it's a beautiful sin to go and murder time. Just stay here. Stay here in the clockwork, in the clockwork. Quiet now. The world has stopped. I dip my nib in ink to trace this land. The wind is blowing cold across the sea. The hills begin to tremble underneath my hand. I'm traveling down the road where is sinking where I wait. The river runs away into the dark. It falls into the empty hands of fate. I'm walking through the lonely garden gate. The islands in the harbor of my mind are shifting with the rhythm of my soul. The only piece of heaven I can find is leaving all my sorrows far behind. Is leaving all my sorrows far behind. The map is never finished. The ink is never dry. My heart is the land. I climb the spiral stone before the sun begins to fade. The glass is cold and heavy where the stellar fuel is laid. I wonder if the constellations feel a sudden lack when I harvest up their marrow and I never give it back. It feels a bit like thievery, this luminous display. I polish every bottle with a bit of flannel cloth. The light is soft and fluttering, just like a silver moth. I check the wick and check the seals and pray the glass is tough, because the atmosphere is thinning and the higher winds are rough. I'm waiting for the ship that drifts on clouds of cotton froth. Oh, it's a long and lonely business, keeping watch upon the height. I am burning up the heavens just to give your wholesome light. My heart is like a lighthouse and the sky is like a sea. I hope the stars will pardon what I've taken for a fee, for I'm only trying to lead you home back here to little me. The tea is getting bitter in the pot beside the bed. I read the dusty charts until the ink is turning red. I look out through the telescope to find a fleece white sail, carried on the jet stream like a ghost within a gale. I wonder if you've noticed all the silver that I've bled. They say that starfire never dies, it only changes form. It keeps the rafters steady and it keeps the kitchen warm. But sometimes in the quiet when the jars begin to hum, I feel a bit of guilt for every glimmer I've won. I've robbed the very night just so that you could weather out the storm. So you could weather out the storm. Oh, it's a long and lonely business, keeping watch upon the height. I am burning up the heavens just to give your wholesome light. My heart is like a lighthouse, what I've taken for a fee, for I'm only trying to lead you home back here to little me. I'll set another jar out on